Hello students, good morning. This is Dinesh Charusia. Once again I am here with the online classes, and today's topic is for class 9 physics, laws of motion. So in my previous videos I have explained about measurements, fundamental units, fundamental concept about measurement, and about pendulums, about the equation of motion, the proof of or the derivation of equation of motion, derivation of equation of motions with the help of graph and graphical representation. Okay, so after that we have the topic laws of motion given by Newton. So Newton has given these laws. There are three laws of motion. So the first law for the motion is called law of inertia. Listen very carefully. The law of inertia means if any object is in motion, it will be in the motion, and if any object is in stationary position, it will remain on the same stationary position until and unless we apply any force on it. So this is the first law of Newton and the first law of motion. That means any object will not move if any force is not being applied on it, or any object will not be stopped if we do not apply any force on it. We all know that. So this is called the law of inertia. That means the first law. Okay. After that we have the second law. Second law of motion is very important. Listen carefully. Rate of change of momentum. What is momentum? Let me tell you. Momentum P is equal to mass into velocity. Mass into velocity. So rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied on it. Okay. So this is called rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied on it. So it is called the law of momentum also. Second law is law of momentum, you can say. So I told you rate of change of momentum. So what does it mean? Listen carefully. For second law of motion, that means law of momentum, I told you momentum P is equal to m into v. That means mass into velocity is the formula. So I told you rate of change of momentum. What does this mean? Listen carefully. If any object is moving with the velocity, initial velocity u, and let the mass of the object be m. If mass of the object be m, initial velocity is u, then initial momentum P1 will be m into u. I have told you. Momentum means mass into velocity. So initial momentum P1 will be m into u. After a time interval t, if its final velocity is v, then momentum after a time interval t will be m into v. So what is the change in momentum? Change in momentum means P2 minus P1, that is delta P we can say. P2 is m into v, P1 is m into u, so m will be common, v minus u we can say. Okay, so delta P is equal to m in bracket v minus u, because mv minus mv is the change in momentum. So what we have to find? Rate of change of momentum. I told you this is very important. Second law of Newton. Rate of change of momentum. Rate of change of momentum means this change in momentum has to be divided by t. If delta P is divided by t, okay, rate of change of momentum. So this is now rate of change of momentum. M into, what does this mean? V minus u upon t. V minus u upon t means we all know rate of change of velocity is what? Acceleration. So m into a. This is divided by t. So rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied on it. That means P2 minus P1 upon t will be written as F. So this is the second law of Newton, or you can say second law of motion. F is equal to m into a. Now, third law of motion. Third law is known as law of action and reaction. whatever force we apply on any object. See, this is law of action and reaction. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. This is called law of action and reaction. That means the third law of motion. We have so many examples for these three. Listen carefully. For third law, law of action and reaction, so many things are happening. Listen carefully. When we are watching a rocket, we all know rocket is going up, and in that we have crackers inside. No? So whenever we give fire to the cracker, that fire goes, the power goes down, and the rocket goes to the opposite side of the cracker's force. So this is what? Third law of motion, you can say. Third law of motion is whenever we come down from a boat, when the boat is in the river. So boat goes back whenever we come out of the boat. And so many other examples are there, like if we fire any gun, while firing the gun we can see that the bullet of the gun goes out with the force, whatever the force is being applied on the bullet, the same force bullet applied on the gun also. That's why our hand goes backside in the direction of the opposite direction of the bullet. So this is what the third law of motion. If we talk about the first law of motion, if we have kept any book on the table, the book is not going to move until and unless we apply any force on the book. Okay. So whenever we are sitting on the buses, when the bus stops suddenly, the brakes are being applied, our body goes to the forward direction. Why? This is the reason we have studied the first law of motion. This is why. This is because first law of motion is there. Law of inertia. Our whole body is in the inertia position, but whenever the brakes are being applied by the bus, our upper side portion is not on the stationary position. It moves towards the direction of the bus, but the lower side is in the contact of the bus. That's why it doesn't move. Upper side moves, lower side does not move. So many examples are there for the law of inertia also. Law of momentum, I told you. This is the second law. F is equal to m into a. We will be using it directly, the formula for the numericals. So many numericals and concepts are there on the basis of these three, first, second and third law of motion. Keep revising this. After that, we will discuss about the universal law of gravitation after this video. That is very important, and this formula has to be used. The second law of Newton has to be used in that. So before we start gravitational law or universal law of gravitation, we need to study about first, second and third law of motion. You please study that. Till then, thank you so much. See you soon.